What is up, homies? Christian back at again with our Twin Sons action figure close-up, and today I have for us a very exciting episode. We're going to be looking at the box for the Star Wars Hasbro Black Series 6-inch Cad Bane from the Clone Wars. And as we can see here, the box for this figure, I mean, it's better than the figure itself. Over here we got some art on the side. Again, I do not know who this artist is, so if anyone knows, let me know in the comments down below. The Clone Wars, we've noticed, has like this yellow theme to it. And on the back, he has number 6. I think I figured out these are in the Clone Wars lineup. So each like movie line, well, it's not a movie, but each property itself, I guess, is the best way to put it, has its own numbering. So this one is number 6 of the Clone Wars figures that have been made. We have his little bio with that same art on it. I really like this art. It looks really good. Cad Bane, a ruthless bounty hunter from the planet Duro. Cad Bane was the preeminent blaster for hire in the galaxy at the time of the Clone Wars. No quarry was too dangerous for Bane, if the price was right. And then over here on this side, we have the side of the box. This is where the window would be. So overall, great box. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. And until next time, may the Force be with you. All right, just kidding. Let's take a look at Cad Bane himself now. All right, so pretty sure I fooled none of you with that. Here we have the bounty hunter in all of his glory, all of his Western gunslinging glory, and he is looking fantastic. You know, just so you can get some light on him, I'm going to be taking this hat off. Let's take a look at it later. It's always weird seeing Cad Bane without his hat. You never realize how big his forehead is really until you see it. So, I mean, it's right off the bat, this gunslinger is amazing. He looks so good. Articulation is pretty good too, but we'll get into all of that. So, let's start off with his head. As always, the head is this vibrant, but not too vibrant. It's like a believable skin tone. If someone actually had blue, I could see it being this kind of color. It is different than the Thrawn blue we had before. Thrawn had more of a paler blue. Cad's just a few shades darker. And those red Duros eyes. And I love that snarling grin he has. It just gives him so much attitude. They actually gave him little white teeth. It looks great. They have the hoses. They come up to his cheeks. And they go behind the back. They're really textured. It looks really nice. That silver paint on it really pops out. They actually painted in like a gunmetal gray for the studs on the side of his cheeks, on his tubes. I actually don't know the anatomy of his character too well. The wrinkles on the forehead you can see are sculpted in. The eyes just perfectly right. It's a great rendition of Cad Bane. The body, this is all new sculpt work we have. And his jacket just looks amazing. The way they sculpted in like the fabric under there, how it lays, and then it goes into that fabric right there. Like this overcoat just has a lot of swagger to it. They've sculpted in the little vest part there, like this undershirt area, all of his ammo that he keeps on him, which, I mean, I've never really seen it too much, so I don't know how he uses that ammo. You'd think it'd be like a power pack, but maybe it's like little power cells for his pistols. The weathering on his shirt, you guys can see there as the light catches it, looks really well done. I kind of wish it was brought to this outside jacket too, but this inside jacket, it looks really good. The weathering on it, they like dry brushed a lighter brown onto the dark brown. They sculpted in these rivets here to close up the vest. Just a lot of texture there. His arms have these, I mean, they're not like Mandalorian blasters. Let me know in the comments down below if these are actually supposed to be Mandalorian gauntlets, but they look damn close to it. And I like how they got the wires running through them. They actually painted some red on there on 2 buttons just to break up that silver, which is really nice. But the gunmetal is just painted on really well. This hose has got a little bit of silver on it too. And then his hand, those little half gloves that I feel like every professional bounty hunter should wear half gloves. I don't know, it just seems to be the norm. Blue fingertips, just the theme with this figure is the crisp paintwork. You know, these fingers, the blue doesn't bleed over, the brown doesn't bleed over. It's just really well done. His other arm has pretty much the same gauntlet, even down to the same 2 buttons, just mirrored. Looks really good. They have like these little blasters or flamethrowers on the inside. The wire right here, that wire right there again. The back, you can really see the way the cloth lays here and the way it lays here. Looks really good. Hasbro always does a pretty good job with actually making the cloth look pretty natural. He does have this little like long trench coat. It's like a softer plastic, but it's still definitely going to get in the way of any 2 actiony poses. It would have been kind of nice to see this be soft goods, but I get why Hasbro didn't. It'd be kind of weird just to cut it off right there and do soft goods, or else they'd have to do the entire jacket in soft goods. The amount of detail here with this part here and the silver studs on the jacket, there was no way they could translate that to soft goods and still maintain $20, $25 price point. You'd be looking at Mezco prices at that point. So, moving on, he has holsters for his pistols, which we'll go over in a second. They are independent, so they won't hinder your articulation in any way. The way his pants look are really good. They're also really worn, like his undervest up there, under jacket, whatever this is, a shirt, a vest, a jacket. It's all 3 of them today. But it's like a dark blue, almost like they're trying to get a gray blue denim, but they have a lighter gray blue that they came in with. You can see the light reflecting off of it. It really just catches the eye. Really looks like he's actually been through the rough and tumble and the mud and stuff. He's not just crisp and shiny. He's actually been out there bounty hunting. Looks really good. And for his boots looking really crisp. He do be looking fresh in these. You can see the texturing with the rivets right there. No paint on them though. It is a darker blue than the pants, as you can see. This one's like more gray, this one's more blue. But his shoes are a different color. His shoes are darker than any of them, which is a little odd because you'd think they'd be the same color since they're all the same piece. He has these silver things. Let me know in the comments down below what these are used for. I'm gonna guess maybe some sort of like propulsion or something. I mean, I'm gonna fully admit to you guys, I am a Rebels fanboy. I've only seen some arcs of the Clone Wars, but I've not seen too much of Cad Bane. I just know that he's awesome, and from everything I've seen, I love him. But Cad Bane would not be Cad Bane without the most iconic thing about him, the hat. And the hat, just a very simple hat. It's a brown, they put some like mud on the front right there. Silver on the sides, just like it was in the show, and it looks amazing. This hat has the power to turn any character into a real fly looking character. So as you can see, normal guy, you'd see him on the street, you wouldn't care. However, you put the hat on, now you have Cad Bane, ruthless bounty hunter. I'd run in the opposite direction if I saw this guy coming. But the only thing with the hat, and watch, it won't do it for me now, it doesn't like to, all right, of course I knew. It likes to stay on, but it doesn't like to stay on at the same time. There's sweet spots on this hat, I've noticed, and if you just manage to just get off that sweet spot, of course, it's not actually gonna do it for me now. But in my time of playing with this figure, if you get it off its sweet spot, it will fall off if you look at it the wrong way. But of course, it's gonna make me look like a liar right now, but that's all right, because it's showing that the figure is even better than I was saying. So, let's go with articulation now, shall we? For the head, I'm gonna take that hat off for articulating his head. Not much up. He gets a lot of down, like no up, and I don't know why. It looks like the issue is they didn't carve it up enough on the back of the head. So if they carved that in a little bit more, it could have gone more up, because that's what seems to be the hindering factor. And this back of this jacket here also seems to be the hindering factor. So, not much up, a little disappointing, but a lot of down. He gets down at 2 places, the base of the neck and the top of the neck. It gets there, but this top neck peg does not offer too much articulation, just that. So, swivel left, swivel right. He does get tilt though because of that bottom neck peg, which is really nice. You guys know how much I love tilt. Gives any character a lot more motion when he can tilt his head. For the shoulders, they go up, they go around. He's got really stiff joints, which I like to see. Remember, the joints will always loosen over time, but they'll never stiffen. So he does have, I've only gotten to articulate once or twice. Here we are, you can see it now. You really gotta get in there and hold the piece where he does have bicep swivel. I actually discovered that on accident when I was playing with him. So that's nice to see. He also has elbow swivel, which is also nice, but because of that cable leading up, you really want to try to use that bicep swivel so you don't stress that cable too much. Speaking of elbows, it gets up to a little past 90. Would like to have seen a little bit more so he can try to, hold up his pistols close to his chest, but a little past 90, which is better than what we see with most Hasbro single jointed elbows, so I'll give it a pass. And one of my favorite things about this character, both wrists for gunslinging. Up and down hinge. No side to side. The left hand as well, up and down. So that's gonna be great for dual wielding those pistols. Hasbro's giving us figures who dual wield before, and this left arm is still side to side and not up and down. So I mean, the left arm, all the same. Just a mirror. The right arm. Let's go over his torso. His torso gets, it's a little difficult. I suggest if you're gonna articulate his torso, try to hold him underneath the jacket. Left, right, forward crunch. Let's see what we get. Not a lot of down. A lot of up. So that makes up for him actually not looking up on his own with his neck. You can just hinge him up, and it actually doesn't look bad in the front. It looks still pretty natural. Get him in some matrix poses that way. So a lot of back, meh front. Like, I think that's all you get there. You get lean. It almost feels like no. It almost felt like there may have been a joint underneath this belt, but there isn't. That would have been really nice to see though. So for his hips, they come out to, what is that, like 45 degrees, 50 degrees, not too much. So where he has like, almost like these chaps for horseback riding, that is where they hide the thigh swivel. I like it when they hide it in the costume like that. These knees, I mean, you can tell by how good they look that these are going to be single jointed knees. Get up to 90, which again, I do not mind at all because it looks a lot better when it's articulated and when it's not articulated than the old double knees. The feet, standard Hasbro swivel rocker. Now let's go over his accessories, shall we? Let's get Cad Bane back here, looking all slick. For his accessories, he comes with his messenger bag. It's got a nice little texturing to it all. See, you can actually see on the camera there's got like this gridding texture. So it's like a lattice grid on there. It's on both sides. I really like that. It's all just one solid brown. A little different brown than what his color is on his jacket. It would have been nice to have seen a little bit of paint on here, but it's gonna be hidden on him most of the time anyway, behind him or like under his elbow. See, it sort of tends to lay. Oh, I learned something new today, that these can come undone. So if yours fall off, fear not, you didn't break it, that's what happens. But yeah, I see like a rest just right around his elbow. So you never really see it anyway. So it seems like the mud is the front of the hat from everything I've noticed. And he comes with two more accessories, but kind of just one because they are the same thing. They are his pistols. These pistols look amazing. I love it. They actually put the black on the top, with the silver on the bottom. And again, just crisp line work here on the brown of the hilt, where they've actually also put some sculpted like grip texture there. Clean lines. These things look great. I love the little scope on them. I don't know if this is supposed to be all empty in the show or not, but I'm sure they had to do that because of the fact that the plastic would have been way too weak then. They look great. And the other one looks exactly the same. Do you don't know what kind of pistols these are? Let me know if you know the actual model. How does he hold them? He holds them well. Spoiler alert. He does a great job holding them. Do not want to come out. And look at that, his head isn't coming off either. Holds them, they actually point straight when he's holding them. So that's nice. And one of my favorite things on any figure, the holster works. So the scope comes on the outside of these holsters. Overall, an amazing figure. Hasbro really knocked out of the park with this figure. I don't care if you've never seen the Clone Wars, get this figure. If you love Clone Wars, get this figure. If you hate Cad Bane, get this figure. If you love Cad Bane, definitely get this figure. I cannot recommend this figure enough. It might be one of my, one of my top 10 I think Hasbro's ever put out. And I don't really know Cad Bane too much, as I said earlier, as I admitted. I just know he's supposed to be badass, and that's enough for me. He looks like a Western gunslinger in Star Wars. The hat is amazing. I know he's awesome in the show. He's a lot of people's favorite bounty hunter. Hasbro really gave this figure the love and attention that it deserved. Everyone's gonna be happy with this figure. Grab one, but don't scalp them. If you see one on the pegs, leave them for the next fan, all right? Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. And until next time, may the Force be with you.